Item 5, consideration of approving the following items as requested by the Office of the Administrator. A, presentation of a retirement certificate to Ms. Tammy Bufkin, Director of Finance, Parish Treasurer, for 31-plus years of dedicated service to the citizens of Calcasieu Parish. Mr. Bean.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you know, during the course of a year, people retire pretty regularly, but some we want to take a little more time to talk about than others, and this is one of those nights. And it is my extreme privilege tonight to join the police jury, all of you, in recognizing Tammy Bufkin for her stellar career here with the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. Tammy is retiring after 31-plus years of distinguished service. I'd like to give a little bit about her career background, touch on some accomplishments, and of course there'll be time for the jurors to give some comments, and we do want to hear from Tammy. I appreciate if you'll indulge me just to cover a few things. Tammy graduated from McNeese State University in 1982, Bachelor of Science degree in accounting. Very important, she graduated summa cum laude, which means with highest honors. I'm not going to go that far back, but basically same thing in high school. So during her college years, so very early, she actually started working with McElroy, Quirk & Birch. Many of you know, a very good accounting firm here in town. And she was there for a period of 9 years. We have somewhat of a history. I wouldn't call it a checkered. We do occasionally steal employees from them. They've done it with us. So back in 1988, so this really, I wasn't here yet, but if you kind of think of the history of where we were, in 1988, the parish hired Jerry Milner as your finance director, okay? It was a transformational period for the department. A more modernized structure was needed, updated standards and trends in local government were happening, and we really needed to catch up. Jerry, and many of you know Jerry, he still works with us part-time on the investment side. He's a very smart individual. If he were standing here, he would tell you that the best decision he ever made was selecting Tammy Bufkin to be on his staff. And he did just that. In 1990, September 4th, Tammy came on board with the police jury as accounting manager. She was promoted to assistant director of finance in July 94. Fast forward many years, appointed director of finance February 2015 upon Jerry's retirement. Let me cover some of her accomplishments. Obviously, too many to list. I know you have to say that, but in 31 years, it's quite amazing. Perhaps the best judgment of a person's or an organization's performance is not what they say about themselves, but what others say about them. And in the world of government finance, the Government Finance Officers Association, okay, the National Association, they have a certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting. That is the gold standard throughout the whole country and Canada. And this is not a feel-good certificate, okay? This is very rigorous. It reviews federal agencies, state governments, county governments, city governments, special districts. And so when they issue that certificate, it is not done lightly. As a matter of fact, less than 5% of government agencies in most given years receive this award. We didn't get this award prior to Tammy's employment here. But within 1 year after she was here for the first time, the GFOA awarded that certificate of excellence, and you've gotten it every year since that time. It just happens to coincide with the employment of Tammy Bufkin. And Jerry will tell you the division of duties, he'll be the first. He had a lot to do with it, but Tammy's the one that's overseen that. And I can tell you that is a very big accomplishment. If you look at the scope of all things finance handles, it's another accomplishment. And when I say over 30 years, it's safe to say that the scope was much smaller then, and it wasn't small. But compared to now, it was. So in addition to daily accounting and purchasing, you have two big processes. One we presented tonight, the budget is an annual document. The other is what's called the consolidated financial statements. Both of those take several months to do, and they've got to do that every year in addition to regular duties. That's just for the police jury department. In addition to that, the finance office handles accounting and purchasing functions for dozens of special service districts: fire, drainage, waterworks, recreation, and others. This is all the more impressive when you consider the ever-increasing requirements of government finance laws at the state and federal level. Some of you commented at the budget committee meeting prior to this meeting, the budget document keeps getting thicker. I can assure you that's because of rules that usually the state puts in place to say, you have your government, you got to show all these different things so people know what it is. We have been showing our budget on the website for years. We film all the meetings. We're very transparent. A lot of that thickness of the budget is because regs we've got to follow. It's not because we want y'all to have to look at even more paperwork. But my point is, over that whole time, the complexity grows, but they handle it and handle it well. They're also over the risk management department, which Laura Bolton oversees. That's your insurances and other things, safety, especially in things like hurricanes and other disasters. You can imagine how big that's become. So it takes a lot of finances time as well. Speaking of hurricanes, I shouldn't bring it up, but you have to if you're talking about finance. If you look at all the dealings with FEMA and the State Emergency Preparedness Office, each disaster, any one of them, Hurricane Rita, for example, involves literally years before all accounts are settled. That's not because of us. It's because of the very strict rules to get reimbursed. I think it wasn't until maybe 2-3 years ago the final documents on Calcasieu Parish reimbursements from FEMA was closed. So imagine what they've been going through the last year and a half. And I hate to say it this way, we're just getting started. They have to do all of that in addition to their workload. We can't look away, but what it does, and we are, not we, the finance department is a model. I can assure you, even the people that we've got to report to, when they talk to other parishes around the state and cities, they call Tammy, they call Kelly, they call Judy, they call everybody because we get it right. And what that means is you get a lot of federal reimbursements when you need them on time, and we're talking millions and millions of dollars. So think of all that on top of regular things. I know time won't limit it. I really could go into more. I do want to mention one thing, and maybe this is most important in terms of, you know, the reputation of the police jury, and y'all are our elected representatives. If you look at Tammy's career, maybe what's most impressive, and this is a tribute to Jerry Milner as well, is the extremely high value she places on ethics in the performance of her duties. As elected officials, you understand that the public's trust is something that must be earned over a long period, and which can be lost in the blink of an eye with a financial scandal. I'm not going to act like in a $395 million budget, you're never going to have any findings. If y'all remember in the report submitted back, I guess, in July, there was a handful of findings, minuscule. That is not by luck, guys. I read every day in papers around the state and the country. It's hard to read some of the things that you find out are going on. And the reason you don't hear it from here, it's because we've got people who have an ethical approach and they understand the importance of the public's trust. And so that is no small thing. I'll go ahead and close, and we certainly, I know I'll be turning it over to President Abshar shortly, but I want to close more on a personal level. After working with Tammy for 27 years now, I feel comfortable saying that you will not find a more genuine, warm, giving, and compassionate person than Tammy Bufkin. As outstanding as all of her accomplishments are professionally in her time here, it is Tammy herself, who she is, that has made the strongest positive impact on me, and I know all those she meets. And as great as she is at finance, it is the person she is that makes her special, and I know this sentiment is shared by the whole police jury organization. So with that, I would ask at this time, we do have to do an official presentation of your certificate. So if we could, I'm going to ask Tammy to go ahead and come up to the podium, and you get to take this one with you. But I'm not going to read all the certificate, but let me go ahead and I know Brian wants to say something. But Tammy, you have meant so much to this organization, to all of us personally. We are going to miss you greatly, but we're excited for, I know, a future and the next chapter that you're going to be able to spend more time doing what you and your family with you want you to do, but we can't thank you enough. We'll miss you, but congratulations on 31 years of great service. This is for you. Oh, you want to take that? Okay, great.
Get the flowers, Brian.
Oh, okay. Why don't you hold those? How about that? There you go.
I just wanted to take a minute to say I've had the pleasure of working with you for a very short time now, but it's always been very professional. I know how much care you put into your work, and I know you're going to be greatly missed around the parish. So congratulations on your retirement, and I'm jealous.
Ooh, my heart is so full. I've been receiving emails all week from my coworkers and my staff, and they all have touched my life so much. I've received so much than I've given, I tell you. But I just want to thank you for your kind words, and you all have been kind to me, and I respect and admire every one of you. I've really enjoyed working for the police jury. I think I've been blessed to have been able to work with fine staff and coworkers, and I've made lifelong friends that I treasure. And Brian, I just want to thank you for being who you are, the character and integrity and the vision that you hold for this parish. And I really appreciate it, because you're always willing to do the right thing at the right time, and that makes my job easier. And of course, the staff of Jessica and Dane and Alberto and all those. I hate to name them because I'm going to miss somebody. But I couldn't have done it without my family, the love and support of my family, my 3 children, and my husband of 33 years. We have an anniversary this Sunday, so he's the love of my life, and he's my rock. So, but most of all, I thank God for placing me here to work at the police jury. It's been such a joy, and I've been blessed to work with such a great team. And so I'm leaving it now in good hands. Kelly is, man, she's going to serve you well, and I know no other a more dedicated person than Kelly Fontenay, so she's gonna do great for y'all. So I just want to thank y'all again for letting me serve, and thank you for all your support, and it means more to me than I have words to say. Okay.
Ms. Bufkin, I think we have a few jurors that would like to say a few words. Mr. Brain?
Thank you, Mr. President. Tammy, it's been a pleasure knowing you. I've known you for quite a while. It's been a joy, being able to pick up the phone and call you, or have a you know, somebody that has an issue, and I've had people call me and want to know something about taxes and all that kind of stuff, and you know that because I've had them call you, or you have always called me back and said, I'll be happy to call them. So I just appreciate everything that you've done for the parish. The parish is going to miss you, and I think of you as a friend, and I just hope you enjoy your retirement. Thank you.
Mr. Anderpont.
Yeah, Tammy, when I think your sweet smile, I'm going to miss that. And you mentioned kindness, but when I think of you, I think of kindness. But I also think of someone that's very intelligent and very professional. And 31 plus years, that's a lot, but you've deserved it. We're going to miss you, but we wish you all the best and happy anniversary, too.
Mr. Barty.
It's Tammy. I've only known you now for only about 2 years, but you were one of the very first one-on-ones I had when I was elected, and I remember that meeting to this day, and how kind you were, and how thoughtful, and how much time you took with me just to break down some of these financial numbers. I didn't finish like you did, as high as you did. I guess I'd say I finished cum laude da. But you were just, you know, you were just great at what you do. And I really appreciate the time that you took with me. And I, too, will miss that smile. You know, I sort of look forward to seeing you at these meetings because first thing I notice about you is the smile and how you greet everyone. So again, good luck on your retirement, and just like you say, God bless us with you, and I just thank you for your service, and may heaven continue to shine upon you.
Mr. Landry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Tammy, let's see, we've spent a lot of years here together, and I just want to say thank you for everything, and you've just done a wonderful job. I'm going to tell you, most people don't really, I know they don't know all the things that you do, but she is just so dedicated, and you know, we're blessed in this parish to have a lot of dedicated employees, but I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that's more dedicated than Tammy. I mean, she'll work up here sometime 9, 10 o'clock at night, you know, and that's going on for years and years, especially when it's budget time. It's hard to find somebody that's that committed, you know, and you've just done a wonderful job. And as everybody else said, I mean, anytime anybody calls you, you know, you've got the answer. And actually, every time I've called, I think you've had the answer. I don't know that you ever had to really call back, but, you know, and you delivered the message very well, always willing to help. But I know you deserve this retirement if anybody does, and I sure hope you enjoy yourself and get to travel or whatever you got planned, and now your family gets to see you a little bit more. You won't have to be worrying about that big budget book as you did all those years. But thank you so much for your service. We appreciate it.
Mr. Smith.
Yes, Tammy, I definitely want to say thank you for your service. I remember the first time I met you, you handed me a large budget book, and this year is bigger than that. So, but yeah, I know you're going to enjoy your retirement, and I wish you well. And like I say, I love your smile, and every time I had an actual question, you definitely had the answer for me. So God bless you. Thank you.
Mr. Richard.
Yeah, Miss Tammy, I've known you for 27 years. Different capacity, but, and you've helped me in every one of them. And I've never forgot that. Like everybody said everything else that they needed to say, because it's all true. And I wish you the best. Happy anniversary, and may God bless you.
Mr. Marcantel.
Miss Tammy, after working 30-some years with the federal government, I worked with a lot of financial people. And I must sum it up in this way. You're a gracious lady who is indeed an expert in the field of finance. And thank you very much.
Any other discussion? That item needs no action.